So the question is, was Muhammad a traditional Muslim or a radical Muslim? And this is a little bit of a weird thing to say, but Muhammad was actually not a Muslim, in the same way that Christ was not a Christian. We're Christians. We follow Christ, right? But Christ wasn't a Christian. Christ was the founder, the main guy, right? So in some ways, Christ operates on a different standard than the movement he creates, which is then sets up a set of institutions and practices that are aimed at, in a sense, realizing a certain ideal. Now, here's the thing. Muhammad kicked off Islam. He was a warrior. He was a desert guy. He was a Bedouin. He mobilized a ferocious army of Bedouin fighters. He himself went through different phases, the phase in Medina, the phase in Mecca. The Mecca phase was the warrior phase. And Muslims today will look at Muhammad and they will claim this and they will claim that, and they will pick on this saying and that saying. And look, the Quran is that kind of a book, right? It's an accordion. And you can find in it jihad interpreted as argument and persuasion and spiritual discipline, and then you can interpret jihad as a whole bunch of Muslims on horseback with long swords riding like hell into the desert. Both ideas of jihad are in the Quran. So what I'm getting at is, in the big house of Islam, 22 countries, Muslims interpret this book. And it's more important to look at what they do than just read what the book says. Just like you could take the Old Testament. If your children are disobedient, stone them. Now, you can even go to Orthodox Jews in New York City. I don't see a lot of Muslim kids who are missing eyes or arms or legs, so their parents aren't stoning them, right? You have to look and see not just what is said in the text, but what the actual people who follow that text are doing. So Indonesian Muslims behave differently than Saudis. And so all I'm trying to say is that we've got to recognize that there are a billion people here. They're of different species, and they actually come in different nationalities and different cultures and different languages. And they're not all the same. We can do business with some of them, and there are others of them that are a grave threat to us.